So we are here at the KOA in northern Colorado this weekend, and we just really like KOAs, don't we?
We love them.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
So one of the things that we really like about KOAs in general is we have two kids. And so there's usually always activities for the kids, which is great. Especially this summer when we were traveling, we would be on the road during our travel days for maybe 6, 7 hours. And it was so nice to be able to pull in to a campground and just have the kids go play at the playground while we get things set up in the RV. They can burn off some energy, and so that's one of the things that we really like about just staying at a KOA campground. And then one of the other things that we really like is we have the KOA value card. And so one thing that you get with the value card is you get 10% off, but you also have the option to earn points on your stay. So every time that we stay at a KOA, we are earning points towards free camping. And we redeemed a lot of points for camping this summer, didn't we?
Yeah, we got a couple free ones actually with it as
Yeah,
well.
we had at least a couple of free nights of camping this summer
Yeah.
using our points.
Also, I wanted to have you guys let us know where you're coming from in the comments below. And also, if you're watching this live, just type hashtag live. And then if you're on the replay, because this will be a replay as well, just type hashtag replay. Awesome. Hey there, where the roads may go. She's asking a question. Um, when the kids have stuff to do and not being told they need to be quiet because of other campers nearby. Oh, it wasn't a question, but she was commenting.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I know we feel the same way. It's just, it is like when you're RVing and when, especially you're RVing full time, it is really nice to be able to just have things for your kids to go do and not have to worry about disturbing other people. So something that we found just that was really interesting this summer is that there's a lot of full-time families that RV, but there are also still a lot of people that are kind of in the retired phase of life. And so it's really an interesting mix when you pull into these campgrounds. Like right now, the campground that we're at, we are sandwiched in between two really, really nice rigs.
We call them Rockstar
Rockstar
RV.
RVs is what we say. And so you just know that most likely that this is somebody that is in a different season of life than what we're in. With our 2004 RV behind us, that we didn't sell our house to buy the RV kind of thing, but yeah, it's nice to be able to just send the kids and just have them go play or whatever like that. And so another thing I want to make sure that everybody knows too is that we are not like sponsored by
Or
KOA.
affiliated or
We're not
endorsed or paid. We
affiliated.
just love it.
We we're not getting paid by KOA to do this video as much as that would be
That
really
would be
cool
nice.
if somebody from KOA is watching and you want to hire us.
Hook us up.
But we're not. We have really just had a wonderful experience. And I counted it up. I think we stayed at like over 20 KOAs
Yeah,
over the
they've got a
summer.
lot of our money.
You have gotten a lot of our money, so but either way, I mean, we're really happy to give it to them for what they provide. So again, we've got a giveaway going on right now. You can enter at the link below and make sure that you enter. We are going to end that tomorrow. So on Sunday, August 25th, we will be doing the winner at random. It's completely kind of a random thing, but you can also earn additional entries by subscribing to our channel, by liking our social media pages. There's a whole list of things you can do to get some extra entries, and that's all explained on the giveaway page. So make sure that you go over, you enter that. Because and the reason we chose a $100 KOA gift card was we were given a $100
Hmm.
KOA gift card as a Christmas gift last Christmas, and then we were able to use that this
Yeah.
summer. And I don't even remember which KOA we used it at, um, but we just redeemed that this summer, and it was nice because you can redeem it at any KOA in the United States or
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
So
Teachers on Adventures. Hey there. I saw your comment. You say we discovered KOAs last summer, mainly because they're extremely pet friendly, and
Yeah,
yes,
that's
they are.
so true. We've had so many, like this morning, we've just, been getting breakfast cooked up and been, around and stuff like that. And everybody's walking around with their dogs and their pets, and that's great. We love that. Um, we actually have a couple of dogs ourselves, and so it is nice to be able to just have that pet-friendly atmosphere too. A lot of people travel with their pets. Some people, they have fur babies, and yeah, that's great. No, we love that too about KOAs. They're very, very pet friendly. Most KOAs even to have like a fenced in like dog run area too, where you can go and let your dogs run off leash. My parents actually travel with two cats, and so they'll set up like a little outside tent thing to let the cats be outside. But yes, that's one thing that's awesome about KOAs is that they're definitely very, very pet friendly. So that's totally awesome. We love that about KOAs too. So, what was probably your favorite KOA that we stayed at this summer? Because we stayed at a lot of KOAs this summer, but what do you think your favorite one was probably?
Honestly, I think this one's probably one of my favorite ones here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Mainly because they don't nickel and dime you to death for everything. So they've got just all these little bike things you can ride around on, and you can go out on the paddle boats, and none of it is an extra charge. So there's tons of stuff to do here, and you don't have to pay for every little thing. So I'm sure you pay a little bit up front, for it, but um,
Yeah,
you're not,
that's nice.
feed to death.
Right. Some of the, campgrounds that we've stayed at is like if you wanted to go, use the pedal bikes or whatever, it's like a pedaled go-kart basically, and you have to rent that for an hourly rate or whatever. Again, they have bumper boats and like a paddle boat. You can go on the lake. You don't have to rent that.
Yeah,
Like it's just available to use. You have to just stop by the rec office and sign a waiver and kind of, sign up if there's people waiting, but it's included in the fee for the campground. So that's, yeah, I would agree
that's
that that's
awesome.
something I really like about this particular KOA as well. And we'll be doing a video review on this KOA. So make sure that you are subscribed to our channel so that you're getting the updates. Make sure you hit the little bell so that just gives you
Get notified.
notification when we have that video posted and live. And so we'll be doing a full-on review of this particular KOA campground here in Fort Collins, just so that you guys know what it all has to offer, and especially those of you that are traveling with kids or grandkids. Um, and kind of even how we found out about this place was that my parents are full-time RVers and they came and stayed and had the kids. And then we were like, we love this. This is totally awesome. So, where the roads may go, how far out did you need to make that Colorado reservation? So, interestingly enough, I made this reservation for this weekend, and we are here on a weekend, which weekends usually tend to be busier. I made this reservation just a few weeks ago. I was actually surprised, pleasantly surprised, that they had openings here for a weekend in, August. That, you know, like not very far out when I made the reservation. So, one thing I will say about reservations is that when we do plan our travels, we do tend to make reservations for a lot of places several months in
She's a
advance.
planner.
I'm a chronic planner.
I'd be fine just going, but I'm very thankful that she's a planner because we've been to a lot of places that we wouldn't have gotten without her being a super planner.
Yeah, I have a planning problem, I guess. I don't know. But because of that, like there are some places. So, for example, we stayed at Myrtle Beach State Park in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And the state park is beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous,
It's
gorgeous.
very inexpensive and it's like right pretty much on the beach. And so to get a reservation there, it was about a 6 month in advance, where I made the reservations about 6 months in advance. So it seems like it just really depends. One thing I will say that was interesting is so Labor Day weekend, we are going to be in the Black Hills area of South Dakota. And I was able to get reservations there. I booked them just a few weeks ago. So maybe, not even a month out. And I was thinking there's no way that we're going to be able to get reservations. I don't know if we're going to be able to go or not. Um, but we were able to get reservations for the Black Hills in South Dakota around Mount Rushmore for Labor Day weekend, which I was pleasantly surprised about that. So, yeah, hey, where the roads may go, I imagine if you want to do Florida in December,
Yes.
yeah, that's probably something you need to go way in advance
Yeah.
for.
That's one mistake we made with not making reservations on more of like things to do. Like I really wanted to go to Dry Tortugas in Florida when we went to Key West, and unfortunately, you have to reserve that what
It's
like weeks,
months.
months, yeah,
Well,
months in
week to
advance,
months, just
4 weeks.
depending upon the time of year that you go. I was thinking that we would be able to, a couple weeks we'd be fine, but nope, didn't happen. So we'll have to add that to the list for next time. But I think one of the things that we've learned being, semi full time,
We've learned a lot.
learned a lot. But one of the things that we've learned is that, we have an RV, and if we don't get to do something wherever we're at that time, it doesn't it's not a once in a lifetime chance. We've started calling it once in a long time
Yeah,
chance. So what that means is we'll be back at some point. I mean,
yeah,
it might be a little while before we go back, which is why we started telling our kids to say, it's once in a long time, not once in a lifetime chance. But we'll go back at some point, and then we'll do the things that we didn't get to do at some point. So
yeah. I would say that's one mistake. We were talking and debriefing on our uh, trip down to the Keys and up to Myrtle Beach and back. And one thing that we learned from that trip is really we just needed to slow down. So next summer we're gonna probably, instead of going and staying for a couple days and then picking back up and then leaving again and then driving for 6 hours because 6 hours is really the max that we like to drive. And then you know constantly picking up and going because there's so much you have to do, every time you stop. We're going to go ahead and space that out more. So when we stay, we'll probably stay 5 or 6 days at each place. We stayed 8 days at Key West, which is a little long. Um, we wish we would have stayed more time in Tampa, because we loved it. So, anyways, that's one thing that we would do is space it out a little bit more and just slow down a little bit and don't feel like we need to go and see every single place that's in the area because
just
we're
getting out of the tourist mentality
yeah.
and more into just the relaxation and visitor mentality. But where the roads may go, Hart Ranch in South Dakota is amazing. It is amazing. We actually, so Ben is originally from the Black Hills area as far as where he was born and raised. So yeah, Hart Ranch. We've not stayed there yet, but we've been by it many times, and yeah, it is amazing. And so another thing about Hart Ranch too is that there are a few sites, and this again talking about reservations, you need to book it in advance. But Heart Ranch actually does have a few sites available with the Thousand Trails membership. So if you have a Thousand Trails membership, Heart Ranch in South Dakota is a place that you can use your Thousand Trails membership. You just have to, again, book that in advance. But yeah, teachers on adventures. We learned that also. We plan to stay a little longer on our trip next summer instead of moving so fast. It looks like that we have learned a lot of the same things. We figured that out too. So, yeah, so I think next year, at least at this point, we are thinking about the western half of the United States. So, the coastal areas of California, Oregon. So, yeah, we're definitely thinking about that. And
And I think we'll also, I think next year we're going to try a lot of the Boondockers welcome. What are some of the other places?
well, Boondockers welcome. We'll
There's
have to see if that'll
three or
work for
four.
us because we have a 40-foot rig, and then with our tow vehicle, we just have a lot of length. And so, at least my experience, and maybe you guys can let us know if you've used that, and if you have used Boondockers welcome, do you have smaller campers?
Yep, there's
Because
Harvest Hosts, Boondockers Welcome. We learned of the new one. What is that called?
um, what
Freedom,
faithful parking?
Faithful Parking,
Yep.
where you park in churches.
Yep, where you can basically essentially boondock at a church parking lot overnight, but it beats the Walmart parking lot overnight. And then they do ask for just a small donation to the church. So usually like $10 or $15. And some of the churches will even just let you use their restrooms or let the kids use the playground or um, things like that. So the Harvest Host spots in California
California.
rocks.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
because they
good
have
to know.
they have vineyards, right? I see what you're talking about there, where the roads may go. I get you.
Yeah, so we'll have to, it'll be interesting this next year. We'll have to check out some of those places. And I think that there's more options for some of the Harvest Host places and things like that on the West Coast versus where we were traveling this summer, which was more southern United States. So
Yeah.
we're definitely excited about that. So again, just to remind everybody that we do have a giveaway going on, $100 KOA gift card. So make sure that if you have not entered yet, you enter that. Um, we'll be picking the winner at random tomorrow and announcing that.
Yep.
So
And the more
um,
you share with your friends on there, you share it on Facebook, share it via email, share your unique link, you get more entries, and the person who has the most entries is going to be the winner.
yeah,
So,
that's
and we're
awesome.
also giving away um, two other things: our bamboo marshmallow roasting sticks and our fire starters. So,
Yep. So we have a couple of products that, like Ben mentioned, some bamboo marshmallow roasting sticks and some all natural fire starters that we'll be giving away as well. And you can find those on Amazon as well and on our website. So Nancy on Facebook says, hello, I like KOA. We stay weekends in Maryland. So yes, KOA in Maryland. We've not done, good, how are you?
good. How are you doing?
We've not done a KOA in Maryland yet, but we would love to do some KOAs up in the New England area. The furthest we've been is Massachusetts. And Massachusetts? No, we did stay in Maryland.
Yeah, we
We
did.
did stay in Maryland.
Hmm.
I wasn't thinking about the fact that it was Maryland because we were in the DC, like close to the DC area, but we did. It was a KOA. It was capital KOA, just outside of Annapolis.
That's right.
Yes,
Yep.
that is right. We have been in Maryland. I stand corrected. But that's the furthest north we went. We haven't been up further into New England yet, which of course is on the list.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Where are we going next year? What's the plan for next year?
think west probably. Yeah,
So
west.
over Utah, California.
Yeah, more coastal, so we'll go through Utah just because our home base is in Colorado, so we'll have to travel through Utah to go out that direction, but coastal, West Coast. So we'd love to hear from some of you guys if you've been
Yeah.
out into the West Coast and you've got some favorite spots, definitely let us know in the comments because we'll be checking the comments just, over the next few days, of course. And if you've got recommendations for West Coast kind of campgrounds or must see, must do things, we would love to hear that from you guys as well.
Also, do us a favor. If you're on live, just type hashtag live in the comments and hashtag replay if you are on the replay, just so we know how you're coming in.
Yep. No, that would be great. So awesome.
We really appreciate you guys following us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and we really appreciate it. We just looked at our subscriber count on YouTube, and we're just about at 1,000 subscribers. So we're pretty excited about that, and we really appreciate all of you guys for subscribing on YouTube and following our journey. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. So Nancy on Facebook says she has some family in Oklahoma. Coincidentally, so do I.
So do we.
So not this past, not this year, but last year, we actually made a stop in the Tulsa area so that we could see some family there as well. And I think that's one of the things, and we've talked about this in several of our videos on our channel, is that one of the things we really love about the RV life is that, if you're anything like us, it seems like all of us end up having family scattered across the United States. So, we have family in all sorts of different areas across the United States. And unless there's a major life event, right? So, unless there's either a wedding or a funeral, you just pretty much don't get to connect with some of those extended family members when you're scattered across the United States. But one thing we really loved about the RV life and living the RV life is that we can be somewhat strategic in when we're planning our travels to be able to look at where do we have family and is that can we make that a stop? Can we, stop in those areas or whatever? Last year, speaking of boondocking, we mooch docked in the driveway of my uncle's house in Ohio. And thankfully, he had a really nice long driveway, and we hooked up to his house water and electric, and had water and electric, and
Yeah.
boondocked in his driveway. And my aunt made a wonderful Southern meal. She's originally from Virginia, and Southern cooking. Oh, this woman can
Oh
cook.
yeah.
So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And again, they live in Ohio. We wouldn't see them, really unless that there was a major life event. So Nancy says she's in Pennsylvania. We traveled a little bit through Pennsylvania last year, on our way back through. That's gorgeous country you have up there. We've seen a lot of cool campground reviews, um, for campgrounds in that area. So we would love to get up there and do some reviews on some campgrounds up in Pennsylvania at some point too. So that would be awesome. Beautiful country up there. So, and a lot of history up there too.
Yeah.
So Gettysburg was, we didn't get to spend near enough time in Gettysburg, but
Or the Smokies. We kind of had to
yeah, the
rush back.
Smokies are in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there was another place that,
Those are two
so
places
many places, so many
that we
places to
just wanted to go see. But
go. Awesome.
let us know if you guys have any questions in the comments below, and we'll answer them while we're on here live. And we're gonna be heading out here shortly to go hang out with the kiddos and get some footage for the campground review here. I got some drone footage yesterday of the whole campground and beautiful sunset with the Colorado mountains in the background. And right at the end, one of the campground hosts came by and said I can't fly the drone here, so I had to
So at least,
had to
you
lower
got it
it.
in. We
But
had that happen to us in, it was Alabama too. So where we put up the drone and then somebody real quick said, "Oh, you can't have drones here." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So took it down, of course, but we still have the footage. So we
we
got
got it.
that. Yeah, exactly. So Teachers on Adventures says loved Pennsylvania. That's where our son and four of our grandkids live. That's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Pennsylvania is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, and then Nancy says check out Little Orleans Campground next time in Maryland. We'll have to do that. We'll put that on our list of campgrounds in that area that we want to check out. So thanks so much for the tip. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Charity will probably put it on her spreadsheet right there. She nerds out like you guys think I'm a nerd. She's the real nerd. She puts everything down on a spreadsheet. Like she puts the travel itinerary on a spreadsheet. So I would I would say that's she's nerdier than I am. Just saying.
Probably. Yes. No
That's all right.
argument here.
It's all right though. It was so organized. Our whole trip was organized. We had a place to stay every night. We didn't have to stay at Walmart. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a fan of Walmart. There's a lot of lights and it's loud. And if we can, that's our last resort. If we can um, find a place to plug in and
Yeah.
dump, and we'd rather do that and pay rather than stay at Walmart. But we,
That's, yeah, that's our personal preference.
yeah,
And I think a lot of it is just because, our particular rig, we love our rig. We also have a video you guys can check out. We did a, kind of a tour where we give you a tour of what our rig looks like and just kind of how we have it set up. But our rig, if you don't put out the slides, does feel pretty cramped just because there's two opposing slides. And so when they're both in, it can be pretty hard to move around. And so to just try to, boondock for the night and not have the slides out or anything like that. Just, um, you can't hardly move around even to just try to make breakfast the next morning. So that's definitely our preference. And we've done that several times where, if we're just even passing through an area and don't have reservations, we'll just start kind of making some phone calls to see, who might have a spot open for just the night. And we've been really lucky. It seems like that there are a lot of campgrounds that we found availability at, right off of major kind of interstates and highways, which is again what we look for. We don't really want to drive, 30 minutes off the main, road as we're passing through an area. So we just will try to find a campground off the interstate where we can just, stay for the night. So where the roads may go, we tend to find a 24-hour grocery store over Walmart. California was our launch state, so many Walmarts there don't allow overnight. So that's an interesting
nice.
thing. And yeah, a 24-hour grocery store would be nice. We did one night in Conifer, Colorado. We stayed in the parking lot of a grocery store there. There really wasn't any signage indicating whether that was or wasn't okay. But we were in a situation where we were going to a pretty remote area in the mountains and we still had another 4 hours to go. Our reservations weren't until the next day, and so we did that too, where we just found a grocery store. Now that one was not a 24-hour grocery store, um, but the parking lot was pretty much empty. We pulled in like at 9:30 at night. Um, just went over, to kind of where we were out of the way, and just stayed the night there. Got up fairly early the next morning. And the nice thing is most of these grocery stores have Starbucks, so I just ran
Yes.
into the Starbucks at the grocery store and got our coffee and got something to eat for breakfast, so that we didn't have to worry about all of that in the RV, and obviously able to support them too. So yeah, where the roads may go, no sign must be okay. That was kind of
Absolutely.
the
That's
theory we went with.
amazing.
We sort of went with the, well, we'll, beg for forgiveness versus ask for permission on this one if we have to.
Yeah.
So,
And I have a favorite boondocking place,
where's your favorite boondocking place?
Cracker Barrel.
Yes,
Because when in the morning, you wake up, the parking lot's quiet. You go in,
it is
get a
fairly
cup of
quiet.
coffee, some steak and eggs. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
I'm a biscuits and gravy person personally, but Southern cooking, it's just Southern cooking. It's really a good thing we don't live in the South full time,
Oh, yeah.
because we would probably each be about 50 pounds heavier if we lived in the
That'd be a
South with
problem.
all of the wonderful Southern cooking. Um, we have a friend that's from the South, and it was funny. He said something about I deep fry my fingernails before I chew them because like, everything in the South is deep fried. So
That's funny.
yeah, awesome. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up so that we can go join our kiddos at the playground and take advantage of all of the activities here. Make sure that you enter our giveaway. We'll be announcing the winner on that sometime tomorrow afternoon. And we'll also be bringing you a video on this particular KOA here in the Fort Collins, Colorado area. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We are just super excited. We have got a ton of stuff that we're going to be putting out on our YouTube channel for just some of the places that we're over the summer still, that we still haven't put the videos up for yet. And so we're really super excited about some of the stuff that we're going to be bringing to you guys. So thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
today. And thanks for subscribing. And we just really appreciate all you guys out there. And we really hope that we will be able to connect with you guys on the road.
absolutely.
All right. Safe travels, everyone.
Bye.